We welcome you to hot and humid Edinburgh, Texas. It's HEB Park, home of the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. Tonight, they host the Tulsa Roughnecks in a big-time matchup in the USL. Rio Grande Valley has been one of the toughest places for teams to get a win all season long. Tulsa, though, in recent past, has had a good success with that. But for RGV this season, goalkeeping has been a huge strength for them.
The mainstay for them has been Nico Cortine. He's done such a great job game after game, keeping his teams in these games. You know, unfortunately, only one win on the year. But they've got a lot of ties against some very high-quality opponents. Michael Nelson got in on the mix as well a couple weeks ago versus Phoenix Rising. Nice shutout versus one of the top teams in the Western Conference. But again, in order for them to continue and get better each and every game, they're going to need some help on the offensive side of the ball.
There's Nico Corti warming up for RGV. He's been the mainstay in the net this season, with Michael Nelson also coming up with that big clean sheet in that 0-0 draw against Phoenix just 2 weeks ago. We take a look at Tulsa, and for them, it's been Joaquin Rivas who's been their talisman all season long.
It's been a similar situation for Tulsa, but going in the other direction. They've actually been able to get the job done offensively, but defensively needing to tighten it up. He's been the lone light going forward, and you'll see him move inside, move outside. Their ability to get him the ball consistently is going to be make or break for the Roughnecks this evening.
Some of the toughest teams have struggled at RGV. Can Tulsa get a win tonight? Coming up next, a big one.
The goal for OKC. Shot, we're in. And it is in the back of the net.
Welcome back to HEB Park, everybody. Sean St. Jacques and Devin Kerr with you. Rio Grande Valley FC getting set to take on Tulsa Roughnecks. The teams walking out onto the pitch right now. As you see the two head coaches exchanging pleasantries. We are just minutes away from the start of this one. Let's take a look at the lineups for both teams, starting with the home side, RGV, and we'll start up top with Aldo Quintanilla.
Aldo's definitely been the lone light for the most part going forward, and you can see 4 goals, 2 assists, so he's really been prolific up top. But look, sitting in behind, they're calling it a 4-3-3. Pereira's actually going to sit a little bit deeper. Aguilar and Wharton going to hold in front of him. So going forward, they're going to look to get in on the action, but also carrying the defensive duties coming back. And the big question mark, Wilma Cabrera. It's actually a head coach of Houston Dynamo's son, getting his 3rd appearance on the evening, so something for him to transition into at such a young age. On the other side of the ball, you're going to get a look at the Tulsa Roughnecks. They're calling this a 4-4-1-1. And we've got the two stacked right next to each other right now, but the back line, business as usual. Fabian Serra, goalkeeper, does a great job between the pipes. And right in the middle of the pitch and on the outside is where my question mark is going to be. Eti Tavares, Paris G, they like to interchange. They can easily go from right to left. Levin is definitely going to be in there in the middle, but whether or not Rivas is going to sit up top next to Perez or Gamble going to hold that spot in the middle next to Levin is the question mark for the night. Regardless, a lot of offensive firepower for Tulsa, but again, defensively, got to lock it up.
Certainly things for this man to think about. Head coach for RGV, Gerson Echeverry, in his first season in charge of the Toros. They've been so good defensively all season long. He's just hoping that the guys on the offensive side going forward into the final third can produce tonight for RGV. Certainly a big question mark for them. They're going to have to try to get past this man who's had a good season. Fabian Serra who's had 2 clean sheets. He started every game, 69 saves, but Tulsa is the second most in the USL in goals conceded.
Unfortunately for him, he's on the wrong end of that stat because he really is an extremely talented goalkeeper. But look, at times, there's only so much a player can take, much like Nico Corti, when that battering ram just continuously being pushed in your direction, puts you in a really difficult situation. Eventually, you know, a deflection is going to make its way to someone on the opposing team.
Here's the Tulsa head coach, Michael Incien. He has only coached 2 games for Tulsa, but picked up the Roughnecks' first win of the season, 4 points in his last 2 outings. It's about as good of a stretch as they've had all season.
The departure of David Vaudreuil has given Michael Incien the opportunity to step in with the director of their coaching, and he's done a good job so far, as you mentioned. But you know, what's interesting is that he's switched a lot of tactical things up. He's brought guys from the outside in. Joaquin Rivas primarily deployed on the outside, kind of in a one-on-one situation, a 7 role. He's been moved more centrally, and we asked Gerson Echeverry, what did he think of that? And he said, you know what, I think it's a great move for them. It gives them a lot more dynamicness going forward. But again, just kind of holding down the middle of the pitch has been the difficult thing for them. It's going to get a little bit harder when they go on the road tonight at HEB Park, dealing with the likes of Todd Wharton, Aguilar, and Perea in the center of the midfield for the Toros.
We are underway. RGV is in their home red-orange, going from left to right on your screen. Tulsa is in their whites. They'll be going the opposite direction. Both teams coming off a draw last time out. RGV scoreless at St. Louis. We talked with Gerson Echeverry about that earlier in the week. He thought 3 points went by the wayside in that game. Thought they had enough chances to win that game. They were not able to convert, and they're hoping that the front 3 and guys on the wing could really be the difference tonight. Here's the talisman. Aldo Quintanilla leads the team in scoring for RGV. That ball is in and deflected away. The control by the back line of Tulsa that has struggled at times this season. Here's Paris G on the near side, who's been a defender for a lot of this season, but playing the midfield role on the near side tonight. Very versatile and consistent player.
And you can see that they've already shifted him to the left and primarily deployed as a right back. They moved him into the midfield, and they like to fluctuate him forward and back. Regardless of a position, he likes to get up and down the pitch. That means Zeti Tavares is going to move to the other side and be his counterpart, and their ability to incorporate wing play has been actually pretty decent. The full package going forward at times turned into kind of solidarity efforts, and just not always a communicative effort front to back.
Good ball forward from Serta, but it's over and all the way back, cleaned up by Sullivan and cleared up by Nico Corti. 15th start for him this season, 32 saves and 4 clean sheets for RGV. You get a look at Coach Michael Incien for Tulsa, and he's just been one of the many midseason coaching changes in the USL this season. A lot of notable ones, Devin.
James O'Connor going to Orlando City. Kalashaw for Richmond. I mean, that is one that took this entire league by storm. There for the better part of 3 decades. Below stepping in, former player who's got a load of records with them. He's going to take the helm. He's been involved with the Richmond Kickers for a while from a coaching standpoint. And then another one that most people couldn't believe was Rick Shantz stepping in for Patrice Carterone, stepping away from the helm. And I'll tell you what, you can make the argument that he's done probably the best job so far out of any of those positions. A little bit more tenure in his situation so far, but looking to grab that helm full time as Phoenix Rising continues their rise in the Western Conference.
Ball sent back to Serta. Tulsa also last time out finished with a draw. It was 2-2 against Las Vegas. The goals came from Joaquin Rivas and Sammy Ochoa. They were able to pick up a valuable point, but both of these teams still trying to get out of the bottom part of the USL standings. RGV did jump up a spot after picking up the draw last time out. And of course, at home this season, RGV 7 draws, only 1 loss, but only 1 win as well. Some of the best teams in USL have come into HEB Park and have been stifled by the back line of RGV. The pressure that Coach Echeverry likes to bring with that team up front as well. And it's stifled some of the toughest teams, including a couple weeks ago, Phoenix coming in, the top goal scoring team at the time in the USL, and they could not get one through. Tulsa looking to send it forward, a cutout there by the captain, Todd Wharton, for RGV. A little bit of miscommunication there, and it's picked up once again by the Roughnecks. sent forward. Sullivan got in there. Controlled by Aguilar. And it looks like a foul. And it's going to go RGV's way. Both teams feeling each other out, it seems, in the early going. A couple long balls forward. Quintanilla drew the foul on this challenge.
And this is a rough step up by Josh Morton, just throwing his weight around a little bit. You know, it's always good to note opening 5 minutes as a defender, kind of making your presence felt. Always wanting that attacker to have that look over the shoulder, hear the steps, if you will, a little bit. Make them question, just play the mental game a little bit early on. And when you start hitting 45, 60, 70 minutes, they start to worry a little bit. Again, it's real easy to realize all the physical efforts that these guys put in, but the mental fatigue really does come into play down the stretch.
Talked about how tough it is for teams to come in here and get a win. Tulsa have actually never lost at RGV here at HEB Park in their history. And each of the last 2 times they've come out with wins. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. RGV this season altogether have 9 draws. Tulsa themselves have 8. Of course, both of these teams coming off draws as well, though the problem with RGV is they haven't scored in each of their last 2 outings. This ball sent forward looking for Rivas, and Donovan's there to make the challenge, and our first corner kick of the match for the Roughnecks here on the near side. Looks like Rivas will come over and take it. Leads Tulsa in goals with 7 on the season. Next highest is Paris G and John Beccaro, each with 2. Rivas will swing it out with his left foot. Near post, sliding in and not able to get there was Yagarte. It comes all the way through, chance to resurface it into the box. It comes short, Sullivan there to clear it out. And it's reset here with Tulsa. Oh, good step in there. Sheldon Sullivan making himself felt, chance to break here. Quintanilla trying to send it forward. It went through the legs of a defender, but Serta's able to clean it up.
Aldo tried to get a little bit cute in that situation. Had Cabrera on the back post streaking, but problem was defensively Tulsa was structured where the angle was just a little bit too tight for him to get in. That's one where you got to hold play up a little bit or hit that with a little pace and a little English on it to the back post, let him run onto it. You see just a good deflection in and good step by Tulsa coming out.
It comes back to Ontiveros. Donovan controls now for RGV. Talked about goals conceded for Tulsa, second most in the USL with 36. That's more than these two teams have combined in goals scored this season. 14 for RGV, 15 for Tulsa. That includes, of course, the 2 last time out in the draw against Vegas. Here's Perea. There's Matias Saldivar sending it wide. Wharton looking to set something up. Perea looking to outlet. Here's Kai Green. A slip past the captain, Wharton. Got pressured and gets it back from Donovan. Far side, Sheldon Sullivan. Pretty good build-up play here for RGV. Looking to send it through. That time was Aguilar. And Tulsa calmly, at least initially, were able to clear it. Luckily for them, it takes a deflection off an RGV player out for a throw. Aguilar with the pressure. Serta will switch fields and it'll go out of play. Too high for Nemanja Vukovic. Here's Gerson Echeverry. Talked to them before the Phoenix game a couple weeks ago. He said his confidence in Nico Corti has continued to grow throughout the entire season. Obviously going into that game, it ended up being Nelson who got the start, and he ended up pitching a shutout. But of course, Nico Corti picked up right where he left off last time against St. Louis, and it was another strong performance from him in net as well. The Westlake, California native has 6 clean sheets overall this season.
In that conversation, something that really resonated with me, Sean, was the learning curve for Nico. And he said that, look, he's not a guy who's going to say why and why not and this, that, and the other. He wants to learn and is like a sponge. He's so willing to listen to every word that comes out of your mouth. And a lot of times in a younger generation, you'll get a player who will be combative and not willing to work in that area. He's not like that. Continuously growing and pushing in the right direction. Just wants to go out and get the job done. If he's doing something wrong, point him in the right direction, and he's going to do it 10 times better next time.
Good pressure from Aguilar initially. That pass was looking for Saldivar. Took a deflection. Chance for Kai Green to run onto it. Collision there between him and Verkovic. It's out for an RGV throw. Perea will send it back. Wharton will control for the Toros. Coming up on 10 minutes into the match. Still looking for our first real opportunity for either side. Perea looking to play make. A good turn from Matias Saldivar. He could shoot this and it's deflected. And it'll go out for RGV's first corner of the match. Coming up on the 10-minute mark. Saldivar will come over and take the free kick. Here's a look at that challenge between Kai Green and Verkovic.
Yeah, it's a nice little 50-50 between the boys. And Vukovic and Kai Green. Kai Green likes to get real high up. His athleticism will continuously come into play here tonight. Someone they like to use on corners as well. A trailing run, but get that big body on frame. Try and get something back across box, get a header on the end.
Saldivar, the Argentinian, waits on the far side. In swinging corner, punched out by Serta. Wharton, it could fall to him, it does. Brief opportunity to shoot. There's the shot, and a punched away by Serta in the net. It comes near side. First chance of the game for either side. Verkovic now pressured. And it'll go out. And it'll be a goal kick for Tulsa. First chance there. Serta not exactly convincing, but punches it away.
You can see right away Fabian Serta having to make a big-time save in the opening quarter of this first half. You can see him come out a little bit. He hesitates coming off the line. You never want to see that from your goalkeeper because he gets lost in la-la land right away. Opens up a second opportunity, but he's able to drift back and get his hands on it. And a lot of times as a goalkeeper, in those situations, it's smart. Not exactly sure, is the ball going to dip? Am my feet set correctly? So he does the right thing, gets his hands behind it, and just punches it out.
We talked, Devin, before the game. You mentioned a couple of times where Fabian Serta's had to stand on his head in games for Tulsa this season. And of course, you look at now 69 coming in, 70 saves on the season. Just shows you at times how he really has to come through for Tulsa to get results. Here's a chance for the Roughnecks, though, on the opposite end. Verkovic picks it up on the near side. Chance to counter here. Aldo Quintanilla, he'll pull up. Making the run was Perea, and instead he plays it short to Pablo Aguilar. RGV ping-ponging it around the midfield, looking for somebody maybe to make a run. Saldivar's got both of his arms up saying, give it to me. A run through, almost found a man. Not sure if he would have been onside, but it goes all the way to Serta. He corrals it, and that time it was Cabrera making the run in behind. So for now, Tulsa controls the ball. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders of over $50. And going right back into the player, Cabrera comes forward and draws the foul. It's quickly restarted by RGV. Here's Todd Wharton in the midfield. Been a mainstay at RGV over these last few seasons. And now Tulsa will look to play it out of the back with Serta. Ball sent all the way back forward, and Nico Corti picks up. We talked about how Michael Insian comes in, 2 results right off the bat, and when you see a guy come in and get the team's first win of the season, certainly you could say that the Roughnecks really responded in that 2-0 win over LA Galaxy 2, and they followed it up with a draw against Vegas as well.
It was interesting, the entire situation and the way it played out, because David Vaudreuil came in after a 2016 season for Tulsa Roughnecks that was absolutely abysmal. Bottom of the table, terrible season, comes out last year, my vote for Coach of the Year, and it just did such a great job, pushed them into the playoff race. They ended up finishing 7th last year, so did a good job turning it around, but just never really got it going this year. And sometimes, unfortunately, you need a change like that to propel you to the next level. Again, talent-wise, this team carries a boatload of it. And unfortunately, we've only really seen it displayed offensively, but defensively it's there too. Just structurally, things needed to change a little bit. You've seen it sound in the opening 15 minutes here versus RGV. Now, mind you, RGV hasn't been the greatest going forward, but still, that's something that a team can grow on. RGV on the other side of the ball, kind of want to pull something out of Tulsa's page where they're definitely not going to make a coaching change, and they don't need to, but you need that spark to get you going. This is a situation where this could be that spark.
Ball sent forward. G was in the area, and it's clear.
You've got a team who is giving up a boatload of goals from a multitude of angles. Set pieces, off corner kicks, obviously, in the run of play, counterattacking, what have you. So it's an opportunity for your offense in a bunch of different ways to get it going, and a good night for them to gain some of that confidence back offensively.
More pressure coming. RGV taking this quickly here. Kai Green, the South Orange native, on the near side. Aguilar making the run. The ball swung in. Nobody at the back post for RGV. Ball is cleared. Battle for it outside the box, and it's won by Tulsa, and a free kick is won by Tulsa. Serta takes his time as he looks to take this free kick and clear it out.
In the middle of the park for RGB has been interesting so far. We said they were sitting in a, they called it a 4-3-3, more like a 4-1-2-3, but it really is a beautiful display of fluidity so far. You can see Todd Wharton really sitting deep, but we've seen Zaldivar out on the right. Cabrera has shifted over, and at times it looks a lot like a 4-2-3-1, which they've primarily displayed in the past, but there's a load of shape-shifting going on today, and that's good. That's going to make it more difficult for the Tulsa Roughnecks back line to understand exactly what's coming at them. When you don't have no sort of regularity in that direction, it's very difficult as a center back and an outside back to track things, especially with the outside backs of Tulsa who like to get forward. They like to get involved in play with Eti Tavares and Paris G. So when they're going forward, those overlapping runs, when you're coming back in the other direction and you're not sure where your mark's going to be, it's hard to just mark space.
Here comes Zaldivar through the middle. Now Wharton looks to switch fields. Instead plays it short to Perea. It's cut out there, and here comes Paris G with an opportunity, but his pass is not a good one. And Ontiveros sends it all the way back to Nico Corti. Here's Connor Donovan, the North Carolina native. Coming in to make the run. Near side now, Kai Green. He looks for a centering pass. Chance to run onto this here. Far side. Scissor, step over, shot, saved by Serta, cleared that time. Nice step in by Vukovic to make sure that there was no follow-up. Serta's been challenged a couple of times already. This time a good centering pass from Green, and it leads to the shot, but Serta was ready again.
It's another positive push from the Toros, and this is something that they've been lacking on a regular basis from their squad going forward. That nice directional switch, change of play, change of direction. And it's difficult from a shifting standpoint. Ball comes across, it's a quick little touch outside, and then an immediate shot on goal. And you see Serta gets his hands behind it, but also gives up another deflection, and that's what I talked about. His ability time after time to be able to hold on to the ball after a save is not going to be there on a regular basis. So second and third opportunities are going to be available for Cabrera. Aldo's got to get involved. Zaldivar, you got to keep your head on a swivel as that ball comes off his hands, pounce, be able to put something in the back of the net.
Vukovic throws it in. Here comes Cabrera, he lost it. And it goes all the way back again to Serta. It's been choppy so far as chances, but RGV, who have struggled to score for pretty much the entire season, have had the better chances so far. Good control here by Sullivan to get it towards Perea. It's cut out. Chance to counter for Tulsa here. Coming into the penalty area. Challenge came in, and it's a great challenge that time, and looks like Sullivan can help RGV to re-clear, and Zaldivar will control in the midfield. Zaldivar pressured. to Ontiveros and Donovan. They hook up. Kai Green, who played for Gerson Echeverry when he was the coach at Seton Hall. Ball played forward. Saldivar slipped. And a good step in by Levin. And here comes Tavares, and a good sliding challenge from Sheldon Sullivan.
Very unfortunate for Saldivar. Had a load of space down in the left channel. Overlapping runs going forward too. It's been a nice 2-3-man game, but solid tackle stepping back from outside back Sheldon Sullivan. He's got a boatload of speed, and they've really started to get him involved more going forward. Obviously defensively is his first duty, but he's so extremely talented. Just one of the many from the University of Virginia that RGV employs here.
It was Josh Morton who threw it in. Chance to swing it in from Tavares. He does with the left foot. Morton didn't get a great touch on it. Still a chance for Tulsa to get it back. Challenge. That might have been in the corner of the box. It'll go out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for Tulsa. You see Rivas again was lurking for the Roughnecks. Here's the ball that came through. Rivas almost was able to get back on it and pounce here.
Morton gets really lucky on that touch that he doesn't give it away, and he's got an argument, but going away, he's definitely not going to get a PK in that situation, so it's hard for the referee to blow a foul right at the outside of the top of the box.
Gamble made the run. Challenge in the corner on Kai Green, who made the challenge, and it will be a free kick for the Roughnecks in a pretty good spot.
Definitely going to be a dangerous situation. And just moments ago, we saw one right at the outside of the top of the box, and now this one's down in, and Vukovic does a good job cutting it back. Kai Green gets caught flat-footed a little bit, puts his hands out. And this is dangerous. Now, Vukovic will hit a lot of set pieces in this situation from this angle. Otherwise, Rivas likes to step up and have a crack, but this is hard. You see the edge of the 18-yard box, you're around 25 yards. Difficult angle. It's a makeshift corner, but it's hard to get something up and down. This is times where you'd like something from the practice ground, even overlapping run, carrying players and knocking something to the top of the box. Otherwise, got to get up and down quickly.
Levin came over for a second, but it looks like he might be a spectator here. We'll see. Vukovic gets ready to deliver this into the box. And now Levin comes over in possible position for him to service this in, but Vukovic will. Chance. Nobody got a piece of it. It came all the way through. Tavares will reclaim it. Goodness, how nobody got a touch, I'll never know. Chance to reset, though, for Tulsa. This ball comes in from the far side. There is a header onto it. Chance for pressure. Cortzy out jumps everybody and corrals it. Pressure came in there from Munoz, who's not quite ready to give up on that pressure yet. And now RGV will build from the back again. Coming up on 22 minutes. Has anything stood out for you so far? Not too much has happened yet.
Not too much, but I'll tell you, going forward, RGV looks dangerous. You can see the looks are there, and we've seen chances from them in the past, but not with such regularity that we're seeing in the opening 22 minutes. I mean, you can see not just looks going forward, but we've seen it on the right, we've seen it on the left. Good build-up play from the back, and a lot of times the opportunities they've had have been in transition, and their ability to work all the way from Corti and go 100+ yards is really impressive. They've been lacking that all year long, and the interchange from the guys up top has been impressive as well. We've seen Wharton sit, but everybody in the middle of the pitch, as well as Aldo and Cabrera up top, have done a great job in overlapping runs.
Shot is blocked in there. Looked like it was Ugarte who got a piece. It hit his back, I believe, between the numbers. And Tulsa will look to clear out. Pass looking for Tavares is out of play, and it'll be an RGV throw. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Chance here for RGV, and it looks like it'll be offside on the near side. The AR there makes the call. Quintanilla tried to run in through the back and drifted a bit past the second to last defender. And RGV trying with runs in behind. And in transition, like you said, Devin, they've been solid so far. They've definitely been dangerous with Saldivar. Quintanilla certainly also making runs. Perea as well.
And you can see him slowly, from a methodical standpoint, figuring out the pieces to the puzzle. Unfortunately, offside called. It's the second one now. You're going to have to bend your run a little bit. Sometimes when you get too flat, the defense recognizes that, gives them the ability to step up into a situation and pull you into that offside position. So it's a smart step from the Roughnecks at the back line, but as a forward going forward, you just kind of constantly keep your eyes in the right direction and look over your shoulder, make sure you're flat with everybody, and give yourself the opportunity to get in behind.
Here's Joaquin Rivas showing you some of his skill. He ends up drawing the foul as Saldivar ran into him. So a free kick opportunity for the Roughnecks. Once again, Vukovic and Levin are both over this. Number of dangerous players in the box for Tulsa. Vukovic with the left foot. Far post, Corti was not sure, and it goes out for a corner. Looking on the near side, it was a pretty good ball in. The dangerous ball certainly had Nico Corti worried. Here's the replay.
You can see Vukovic was a little bit more streamlined than you thought it was. Corti gets a little bit lost in translation. Not sure if it's going to be a shot on goal, if he needs to get his hands on it. Still does a good job pushing it wide.
Rivas took it. Ref blew his whistle before the ball came into the penalty area. And he's going to have a brief chat with a few of the different players. Getting a little physical inside the box. Rivas swings it in. Free header. It's wide. Chance also coming in at the back post. I believe that was Perez, and it is Perez who has to get up. He had a chance to get a late touch on that at the far post, but the header goes out and it's a goal kick.
Jerson Echeverry not going to be happy with his boys here, because you saw the same look just 20 seconds before. Now I know the referee blew the whistle, but the ball gets swung into the front post and you want something picked out at the back. Now whether or not Vukovic is trying to go for goal or go for glory or just a little assist and a flick on, it doesn't matter. The run was still there, so 2 times in a row RGV fails to pick it up. Got to do better than that defensively.
So RGV survives. Nico Corti boots it downfield, looking for Quintanilla, headed away, finds its way back to Aldo Quintanilla. But instead Tulsa will try to send it back forward, headed away by Ontiveros, picked back up by the Toros. Pereira. Here is Saldivar. That one came in, oh, lovely little dummy from Rivas, and then a nutmeg on top of that. Perez picks it up. Now here comes Tulsa with some numbers here. Tavares is on the far side. Rivas gets the ball in. It's just a little shade too far away. Pereira was able to corral it, and Corti clears. That's a little bit of a taste of what Tulsa can do in transition with Rivas. That one was not a great clearance by Pereira. G picked it up and ends up giving it away to Wharton. Saldivar to Green. Donovan will reset. Ball sent forward, looking for Quintanilla, headed up in the air by Josh Morton. Back to the Toros it goes, though. Saldivar gets it. Saldivar gets it back. Pereira back to Saldivar. Chance here. And that is cleared out by Tulsa. Tulsa getting some pressure, but they're able to clear it. Here's Paris G on the near side for the Roughnecks. Not too much forward, though, right now for Tulsa. Cut back. Cabrera got the challenge in, but G recovers. Give and go with Vukovic and G. Pereira steps in and draws the foul. Scoreless, coming up on a half an hour gone here at HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. Sean St. Jacques alongside Devin Kerr here with you. Couple chances for both sides early on. Certainly RGV in transition have been dangerous. Tulsa, though, on set pieces have whizzed a couple in there that have gotten Gerson Echeverry and his side a bit worried. Here's a chance for Wilmer Cabrera. Centering pass, oh, a chance to turn. Aguilar still got it, weaves his way through, tries to appeal for a foul. Referee says all ball. Here comes Eti Tavares. Now here's Rivas. Has a couple players to aim at if he'd like to. Paris G making the near side run. Great centering pass, chance to shoot for Perez. He goes down, free kick. Just outside the penalty area. And a chance here for Tulsa as we take another look.
Interestingly enough, Elton Garcia not blowing the whistle on the other end for Aguilar, who danced his way through, and this time Michael Gamble doing his best impression, gets by the back line. This is real close. It's right at the top of the box, another step or two, and our referee be pointing to the spot. But now I would expect to see Rivas step into a situation like this. They've used him in a lot of different looks here. You see Vukovic standing over the top of him. Rivas really is so dangerous, and here's the quick technical footwork at the top, and Ontiveros just gets caught. You can see he knows it right away. Shields his body the wrong direction, flat-footed, sticks his leg out and just catches him.
So Gamble draws it, and it's right inside the circle. Like you said, maybe a step or two further, and would have been a legitimate appeal for a penalty. Vukovic and Perez are over it. Perez, his goal against LA Galaxy 2 was the winner. He's on the USL Team of the Week for week 16. That was Tulsa's first win of the season. Vukovic will shoot. Vukovic over the bar, a goal kick.
Saw John Perez just to his left, and I get it. I don't mind the effort from this distance or from this angle, but look at the space all on the right side. Every single person from RGV is in the wall. Now, as a set-piece specialist, when you step up into those situations, you want to be selfish. You want to put a crack on target, and I understand that. But at the same point in time, think about the ingenuity and the cleverness that you could put in your craft going forward. Everybody standing on the wall. Maybe practice something on the training ground a little bit further and say, hey, yellow number out, 1, 2, whatever it may be. Something that your guy, trailing runner, knows, hey, there's that overlapping run on the right side, because they had an opportunity to get something outside of that wall, give him a better angle.
Cabrera's pressure forced it back for RGV. There's a shot, and it's wide. There is a player down for Tulsa. Looks like it's Francisco Ugarte. Shot came in from Aguilar, but the play might have been blown dead before that. Ugarte is back up. Here's the challenge. And the chance for RGV. Great pass from Quintanilla there to set up the chance.
Cabrera keeps it alive. Quintanilla just spotting Aguilar on the outside. Tries to pick out that upper quarter. Serta had it covered the whole way, though.
Pablo Aguilar's had a number of chances going forward to try to make something happen. His first chance on goal tonight. That's a long ball looking, I believe, for Paris G. It's well over his head. And out for an RGV throw. Ty Green looking for some help. Ball was sent forward, foul against Ugarte. Quickly taken by Perea to Matisse Saldivar. Far side, was looking for the man on the far side there. A chance for Tavares, though, with his speed to counter. Challenge comes in, out for a throw-in for Tulsa. Tavares has had a couple of opportunities down that far side to make something happen. Looks like Morton will come over again to throw it in.
And that's a good look at exactly why RGV have been so sound defensively. You're seeing one of your attackers, Zaldivar, stepping all the way back. Sheldon Sullivan getting caught out of position a little bit, moving forward on the left-hand side in the attack. Zaldivar tracks all the way back to help his left back out.
Cross in from Vukovic was deflected. Levin picks it back up. Ugarte. Near side, Paris G. Centering pass for Joaquin Rivas. Perez, he lost out. Chance to counter with Cabrera. Saldivar. Here's Perea. Ontiveros. Sheldon Sullivan. "34 minutes gone." It's, I wouldn't say it gone according to plan, but at least according to script so far. Green sends one in. That's cleared away. Vukovic to G. Not a bad ball in from the Jersey native. Chance now for Tulsa to come forward with it. Here's G. Nice job to switch fields to find Tavares. Nice overlapping run. Cross in the middle is blocked and out for a corner kick. And an RGV player will go down after taking, that was Wharton who got in there. And he blocked the cross from coming in. It might take him a second.
He's just going to need to catch his breath after this one. Todd Wharton doing a good job tracking back. Tulsa gets to the byline, tries to come right back across the top of the box, but Wharton able to position himself appropriately and just the wind knocked out of him.
Elton Garcia, the center referee tonight, gives him a few moments. As you look at the chance here, Josh Wharton making the run.
And there's that outside back movement from Tulsa that we talked about, and it's a good move by Wharton. He had it covered the entire way.
Ball swung in, far post. Perez is there. It goes past him and over everybody. Donovan there had it covered, it looked like. Well, Perez got up pretty high to get to it. And it did go through everybody, but a foul is going to be called against Perez, and it's cleared away by Corti. Sullivan and Ontiveros. Wharton looking to send it forward. Controlled nicely by Green with the chest. RGV talked about the 4 clean sheets, 6 clean sheets overall as a team this season. Cordy has 4. Talked about Nelson's performance against one of the best goal-scoring teams in Phoenix back on June 23rd. Also finished goalless here at HEB Park. And you could argue a couple of times where RGV looked like they might even steal the 3 points in that game. Saldivar played a big role in that game, sends this one in, and it's cleared out. Headed by Rivas, not convincingly. That time it is cleared out. Perez comes to get it. Almost won it. Perea made sure he didn't, and Ontiveros controls.
Sean, go back to your point. You're talking about the clean sheets, and you're spot on. That's the thing that if you're an RGV fan, especially the Stampede in Section 112, you got to trust this process because they're giving you looks tonight. You can be proud of them. Again, haven't found the back of the net yet, but doing a good job getting forward. Defensively, still very sound. And you go back to those games. They've been in it versus Swope Park Rangers. They were in it versus Phoenix. They were in it versus St. Louis. And these are all games where, yeah, they didn't close out and get 3 points, but they did have the better run of play. Could have argued they should have got 3 points. So I'd be much more concerned in Jerson Echeverry's shoes, or even the Dynamo and RGV as a whole of, look, we aren't even finding ways to get it done. They're getting to the final third. They're able to keep big teams out of the back of the net. But just being able to find that, giving a full 90-minute package. Sometimes you just switch the light off, or excuse me, turn the switch off for just a second. The light goes blank, and then a team kind of pounces on you. Those are the games that they've lost. They really haven't been blown out whatsoever. So the fact that they're in almost each and every game is a real positive aspect.
And for Tulsa, the goals have come at times for them this season, although they've only scored 1 more goal than RGV has. But it's been the goals conceded that's been a problem. We talked about it at the top, and certainly Serta has done his job. You know, coming in 69 saves coming into tonight, but at times Tulsa's back line has not been stout. RGV trying to push forward here. Tavares had the pressure, and Tulsa come away with it. Pressure coming back though from RGV. It was briefly won back. Rivas, though, stepped in nicely, tried to sweep it forward, and Elton Garcia puts a stop to it and will give RGV a free kick. Looked like it was Michael Gamble who gave away the foul. Looks like Todd Wharton will take it. Here's a replay of that little skirmish.
You can see Aguilar just kind of working back a little bit. He was frustrated at the first call and doesn't get the call as the ball bounces out. Referee plays advantage a little bit, and Rivas just more than happy to give him a little forearm.
Kai Green gets it back from Cabrera, and that's given right back to Paris G. It was Vukovic who cleared it. They'll have to do it again. Correa steps in and wins it back for Rio Grande Valley. Wharton, the captain, to Saldivar, gets it back, tries one from distance and sends it soaring into orbit for a goal kick. Little ambitious there from Todd Wharton.
I don't mind that though. Todd Wharton, I tell you, we've seen some screamers from him in the past, and he possesses that kind of long-range capability. Loves stepping up, having a crack from 25, 30 yards out. Again, that's a thing that a lot of teams have kind of shied away from. Got to keep the goalkeeper honest. I mean, it's great to this interchanging play and all the tactical aspects you can bring into a match, but if you're not shooting, you never know what's going to come out of it.
Rivas tried to square that up for Paris G. Cabrera tried to get away, and it's a throw-in for Tulsa. Wilmer Cabrera is looking for a foul. Vukovic was told to throw it in and then did throw it in, and now is told to throw it in again. It's a little bit of a confusion on the near side. Here's the challenge. Whoops.
Forgot something, Vukovic.
The ball was gone, I think.
Yeah, I've been impressed by Cabrera so far. He's done a good job. He's been, I mean, people have to remember, he's 17 years old. I mean, his ability is very impressive.
Tavares coming in. Challenge came in from Sullivan. Out for a goal kick. And that is about as good as it gets in the penalty area defensively.
The outside backs for RGV have been an interesting story this year because coming into the season, they really thought Kai Green was going to be their main marking back. And we see him here tonight, but left back position started off. It was actually Kyle Adams, who they've now moved to inside. Now he's not in the starting 11 tonight, he's on the bench, but they started Kyle Adams out there. Sheldon Sullivan has made that his home, and he deserves it. He's a nice, speedy guy, gets up and down the pitch, and you see a good look at what he can do defensively. And on the other side, Kai Green has been around a little bit more recently, but Manny Padilla has really stepped into that role and done such a good job of taking over in the starting 11. But that's a good battle. You never want to have just one person sitting in that position. Depth is always a great thing for an organization.
Aguilar looking for Saldivar. And Saldivar wins it back. Pablo Aguilar. Todd Wharton. Here's Kai Green on the near side. Couple players to aim at. And that time Cabrera goes in, wins the challenge, and wins a free kick. And here's a replay. Vukovic again.
He's going to be real close to getting a card here because he's had the whistle blown on him a few times in recent memory and over this first half in general. So his grace period is slowly expiring.
Certainly in recent minutes, that battle between the two has been fun to watch, physical, a little chippy as well, not necessarily with each other. Serta using up some time. A little over 2 minutes plus stoppage time from the end of the first half. All sent forward. Kai Green got ahead to it. Francisco Ugarte. That is sent upfield by Gisino. That ball was looking forward towards Perez. And Ugarte will reset. 11 finally moved towards him. Ugarte is going to send it all the way back to Serta. RGV seemed to have the better of the chances so far, though Tulsa, you could argue, maybe had the best chance to score. A couple of balls whipped in on set pieces that had Nico Corti warned at least that the chances were coming. Oh, lovely ball sent forward to Vukovic. Challenge came in, he holds on to it. Rivas. Switching fields. That's an overlapping run, and it was kept in, but Sullivan made sure that that's all he did with it. Chance to counter. The speed from Quintanilla. Oh, challenge almost came in. It was a whiff. Here comes Todd Wharton. Wharton tried one from distance. He's going to try to dink this one in, possibly. Sets it back. Kai Green. His service into the box, and that's cleared away. Little tussle, looked like it was away from the ball. Donovan and Perez getting into it.
Todd Wharton's got to, sorry, but go ahead.
Ontiveros continues the play.
Yeah, Todd Wharton's got to do better in that situation. He had Quintanilla streaking on the left side just in that trailing run. Did a good job holding up play, and as it made its way to the far side of the pitch, you saw him take a look up, and it had the space to be able to develop. It just kind of slowed things down a little bit, and that's unusual from Todd Wharton. He's such an efficient man over the ball. Such great decision-making ability, just not the best one we've seen from him. 1 minute of added time will be added on to the end of the first half. There is an RGV player down. Play continues. Saldivar might try one. He will try one, and it's just wide. Saldivar had his eye on the USL goals of the week with that strike, but it's out for a goal kick. We saw quite a few this week. I mean, they were pretty solid tries, and it's been 2-3 weeks in a row now that some big goals coming out of FC Cincinnati. Seen some good stuff. There's Cameron Lancaster and his wonder strike versus Red Bull 2. Almost midfield, and can't take anything away from Jason Johnson and his full scissor kick just a few short weeks ago. Player of the week honors for that one.
Final few seconds here in a scoreless first half so far between RGV and Tulsa. It's been hot and humid, just the way the people here in Texas like it, but on the pitch, nothing so far to separate these two sides at the break. 45 minutes down, still goalless between RGV and Tulsa. Both teams have had their chances, but both go to the locker room looking to get stuff going forward. More to come during this halftime report. Goalless between the Toros and Roughnecks.
The goal for OKC! Shot
Welcome back to HEB Park, everybody. Sean St. Jacques and Devin Kerr with you at the half between RGV and Tulsa Roughnecks FC. It's been a good one so far. Let's take a look, though, as USL continues to expand into a Division III here. Soccer in America, Devin, continues to grow, and this is the latest example.
It really is an exciting time in United States soccer, and here's a good look at the 5 founding members. FC Tucson is going to have an affiliation with Phoenix Rising Football Club. Tormenta FC, still unbeaten, 1 of 3 actually in the PDO, so they having a great season. Those South Georgia boys got it going on. Toronto FC too. Obviously they've got their MLS squad with their ability to move players through their system and organization, and it just really goes to show you the growth that everybody has bought into in the United States. People need to remember the big picture that goes on here. It's not just the squad and the team and the traveling and this, that, and the other. It's an entire community environment that continues to grow and provide economic value and opportunities as a whole. It's a great thing for each individual city you see up there and the country as this continues to grow around the United States.
Certainly looking forward to what's ahead with USL Division III. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more coming up on the halftime report from HEB Park here in Edinburgh, Texas.
Yeats inside the area. It's Hamilton. What a finish! Jordan Hamilton. What a strike!
Depereski getting in behind.
That ball from Mirkovic. And what an incredible goal from Pereski. Cordell Cato. Oh my goodness, what a finish! Across the middle. Obanawi with the insurance goal. There it is. McInerney, good looking ball. Jack McInerney. Just digs it back in. Flicked on. Krisnenko.
Brody inside the 18. Brody shot and a goal. Andrew Brody puts the Monarchs ahead in the 8th minute of play.
This one sent in. Great effort! Tampa Bay equalized in the 90th. It's Damo Duro in his rowdy debut. Obi steps in. Obi shooting! Saved by Lynn! He protected the 2 points.
Looking overlap here on the cross, falling in, and beautifully saved.
Stepping forward, header is saved. Von Williams just barely knocking it away from Doyle.
Brandon Allen! Garces kept it out.
Here comes Fresno. Cooper!
Safe keeper.
Cohen gets in behind. Francois off of Ranjitsing. Francois again. Ranjitsing slaps it away. Lofted over the back line and saved by Pickens as he dives aside.
Welcome back to HEB Park, everybody. Sean St. Jacques and Devin Kerr here at the half between RGV and Tulsa Roughnecks FC. A lot of great goals and saves over the last week in the USL. Here's a look.
Of Welshman. McLaughlin, nice touch to keep it alive. Bone along the end line. Across the middle. Obanawi with the insurance goal. There it is. 2-0 Orange and Blue. Dom rises up.
Decision from Jimenez that Mike.
Lancaster! Cameron Lancaster! A dream of a goal!
Throughout the beginning of this first half, and he's barking orders. He hasn't stopped talking, pointing. Now we see Pereski getting in behind.
That ball from Mirkovic, and what an incredible goal from Pereski! Wow, the thunderbolt! Painter. Teyu trying to lob all the way! Oh, he made up for it in the most incredible Russians! Oh, come on! And now they're behind the 8 ball a little bit, although up a goal. This one sent in. Great effort! Tampa Bay equalize in the 90th. It's Damo Duro in his rowdy debut. Obi steps in. Obi shooting! Saved by Lynn! He protected the 2 points!
First time service, cuts across, Brandon Allen! Did it go in? Garces kept it out.
Gets in behind. Francois off of Ranjinsing. Francois again. Ranjinsing slaps it away. Here comes Fresno. Cooper!
Safekeeper.
Cohen swipes it over the crossbar.
Taking overlap here on the cross, volleyed in, and beautifully saved. A wonderful hit.
Lots of great stuff there. Let's take a look at the news and notes in the USL, Devin, starting with the rise in goals as the temperatures continue to rise.
It's interesting that we've seen such offensive prowess from all the squads. Again, like, the heat is hard to deal with, the attrition, the mental fatigue, and also these guys have had some very difficult schedules over the past couple weeks. Loads of games, lots of travel, and all that comes into play as well. And Louisville City, I mean, it has gone from bad to worse, losing James O'Connor. They actually haven't won a game since May 26th. Now, that's in league play. They've been able to get some things done in U.S. Open Cup, but most recently, not only have they lost James O'Connor, assistant coach Daniel Bird is now gone, and they've lost their goalkeeping coach. So the interim coaches that are going to have to step up, George Davis IV, Luke Spencer, Paulo Del Piccolo, they're going to have their hands full traveling to Tampa Bay Rowdies in Outland Stadium this evening.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens going forward with Louisville City. Lots coming up after a quick break. More from RGV and Tulsa coming up next. Welcome back to HEB Park, everybody. Sean St. Jacques, Devin Kerr. Scoreless between RGV and Tulsa at the half. A couple chances for each of these two teams in the first half as we take a look at the first half highlights between the Toros and the Roughnecks as well. Both teams had a couple of big-time chances. This one from RGV on the in-swinging corner.
This starts off as a corner kick, decent step up by Fabian Serta, and you can see him making his way back right away, off his line a little bit, but does a good job to readjust and get his hands behind the ball. You can see it really is so difficult from a goalkeeper. He was questionable as to whether he was going to step, but look, it's a good job by Aguilar, making the best of his space, tries to pick out the far corner, but it's a good save by Serta at the end.
There's also a chance here. Good centering pass from Green to lead to a Quintanilla chance.
It slowly made its way back, and this is what we really need to see from RGV. We see that change of play, change of direction. They're maturing offensively right in front of your eyes. The singularity of them going forward hasn't really been existent much tonight, and that's a good thing. You want the interchanging play. You want 3-4 guys involved in a play. Really the best chance of the night for Tulsa was going the other direction. Set piece, Vukovic steps up, and again, not a bad effort, but really not a lot of velocity behind it. And then the last one for RGB, right around the 35th minute mark. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 players in the end of the ball, trying to pick up the upper 90, but just unable to do so. Leans back a little bit, form fails him. You can just see the last look up. Aguilar just can't get enough over the top of it, and still sitting at 0-0.
Still scoreless between these two teams. Let's take a look at the first half stats. A couple of shots for Tulsa. 6 shots for the Toros. Those 2 on target, though, certainly have given them the better chances in the first half.
They need to continue pushing in that direction, continue pushing numbers down the throat of Fabian Serta, make this back line work for it. We've seen the guys going forward from Tulsa. They've exposed themselves, and RGV have given themselves and shown the capability in the middle of the park to be able to control possession, dictate the tempo of this game. That's where their bread and butter is going to be. Not only your wing play, but the guys in the middle, Wharton, everybody choosing which direction this is going to head at. That's how they're going to find the back of the net more regularly.
Show you what it means as far as the Western Conference table is concerned. These two teams have been dealing with so many draws a lot during this season as well. They'd love to get a win, but of course, upcoming matches. Las Vegas comes into town next Saturday, and then a trip to Swope Park follows that for RGV.
And this is a pretty decent opportunity for Jerson Echeverry and the Toros to get some points. Vegas at Swope Park is going to be a difficult one, but then home again versus Colorado Springs and Steve Tritchu, and then you're going to go to Vegas again. Those are 3 out of 4 games that they could realistically get 9 points out of that. They got to make sure they pounce on that opportunity. When you hit the dog days, September, October, they're not going to be available for you.
This could be a run. We see the Toros start to turn it around for Tulsa. Their upcoming schedule looks like this. They have 2 on the road at St. Louis, at Colorado Springs, and then 3 on the road after that.
Similarly enough, they've got some opponents that they could take down as well. The St. Louis is going to be difficult. But look, Anthony Pulis is trying to find form for St. Louis FC. They're a very up-and-down team as well, who can play with the best of them, but then play down. So that they might be able to steal on the road. Then you got to go to Colorado Springs. Anytime you play at 6,000 plus altitude, that's hard for your body to deal with. Right behind them, Fresno, OKC, Colorado Springs. So again, another very manageable schedule for these two teams to get back in the playoff race. But again, now is go time. This is the time to make the step. You cannot wait any longer.
Certainly the second half for both of these teams could be a good first step before that schedule begins. Kind of hinted to it earlier, all of the draws, all of the missed opportunities to get 3 points for both of these teams. It's been pretty well documented, not only by us on the broadcast, but in previous times that not only we've seen them, but I'm sure you've seen them at home as well. This is a big second half for both teams. We talked about the opportunity with the schedule coming up, possibly giving them more chances to pick up 3 points. This second half could be huge. As we talked about before the game even started, this is a chance for these two teams to get a performance that they can look back on as maybe a turning point in their season.
We talked about the maturation of RGV and their offense going forward, and that needs to continue to progress. They're really showing you a dynamicness, a bunch of different looks, which is a good thing. We're not seeing that linear movement from the past. But the runs up top, those guys got to be a little bit careful. Again, continuously looking, keep your head on a swivel. Make sure that when you're getting into those situations, you're not coming too flat. A couple times, Tulsa doing a good job recognizing that threat coming forward. They stepped up, throw the flag up offside. Also, I've been really impressed with Wilmer Cabrera. We brought him up once. He's done a good job interchanging play, and they need to continue that progression. For Tulsa, if they have any chance, they have got to make sure they make the most of their opportunities. They're not going to get a lot. Again, defensively, RGV just way too sound. But then for them going forward, Vukovic and Morton, they've done a good job getting up top, but where's Eti Tavares? Where's Paris G? They've really become silent, and credit to RGV for what they've been able to do, shutting them down. But if you're Michael Insian, you've got to utilize them more if you want to have success and an impact going forward.
Second half from HEB Park is underway. Still scoreless between RGV and Tulsa. Sean St. Jacques and Devin Kerr here with you. Thanks so much for joining us here on a Saturday night. Hot and humid as always here in Edinburgh, Texas. Both of these teams looking for what would be a valuable win. So look at the bottom of the standings. These two teams are neck and neck, and obviously we talked about with just the upcoming schedules alone, the impetus for both of these teams to get a win tonight, to get into a groove, and you know, who knows where it could lead. Chance going forward for Tavares is too far out in front of him. Sheldon Sullivan quickly throws it back in for Rio Grande Valley. Sent forward by Sullivan. Picked up here by Joaquin Rivas. Making the run, Josh Morton sends it in, header not there. It was Donovan from RGV who got ahead to it, and Kai Green, along with now Saldivar, look to spring RGV forward. Wharton to Green, looking to service into the box. A little give and go with Cabrera. Green with the left foot. And it's going to be too far out of play. Aguilar couldn't get to it. And it's a throw in for Tulsa. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Foul against RGV. Perez drew it for Tulsa. Near side, Josh Morton. Pass given away. It was Wharton who stepped in for RGV initially, but Tulsa have it back. Not a great touch by Rivas, and Donovan was there to clean it up. And it's back to Corti. Donovan. And that was just slipped past Kai Green, out for a throw-in for Tulsa. How well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in the USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every Tuesday. You can win tickets to an upcoming USL game of your choice. This game so far, scoreless, just underway in the second half. Both of these teams coming off draws. Last time out, Quintanilla picks it off, using the speed to get forward. Pablo Aguilar onto it. Looking to backtrack. Aguilar still has it, though. Perea has Wharton with him. Tried to get it into the box. Perea gets it back, floats it over, and it is chested down by Serta before he picks it up.
You have to love the antics by Fabian Serta, just showing off his own little skill set.
Wharton, nice job in there to get a foot in and steal it back. Sullivan. Here's Perea. Back to Connor Donovan. Tavares to Wharton. Wharton slips past one. Touch was too far. Levin got in there for Tulsa to break it up. Perea has Ontiveros with him as RGV look to build again from the back. That ball sent forward, headed away. That time it was Morton initially. Tavares on it now. Stolen away by Pablo Aguilar. Aguilar gets past Tavares, and the touch eludes him, and it's out for a goal kick for the Roughnecks. Here's the earlier chance.
It's a good look from Perea. Tries to get a little bit cheeky. Thought he had Serta off his line. And that counterattack actually started right about 40 yards from goal. It was a good step from Quintanilla to win the ball, win possession back for RGV. Opening 5 minutes or so, you've seen them move their line a little bit higher defensively, giving Tulsa real frustration trying to play out of the back.
Here's Sullivan. Aguilar tried to dance through 2 or 3 Tulsa defenders, and he wins a throw. Sullivan takes just to the right of his head coach, Gerson Echeverry. That one is given away. John Perez, but Wharton able to backtrack. And it's with Nico Corti. Here is Aguilar again. Looking to spring it forward. Quintanilla might take it first time. He does. It's easy for Fabian Cerda in the end. Quintanilla leads the team. 4 goals this season for RGV. Ontiveros and Todd Wharton behind him with 2 apiece. That time Kai Green made sure that that run wasn't made. Wharton looking to spring something forward. Good pressure from Tulsa that time. Levin, though, ended up hitting the center referee. There's some more pressure from Sullivan. That time Tavares spins out of it. Just able to keep it in. Oh, no, says the AR on the near side, and it's out for a throw. Here's another look at that ball in behind at Quintanilla.
You can see a little bit of moisture coming off this ball as pitch has gotten a little bit of dew point. I'm sure there might have been a few extra watering sessions. Look, the heat has been absolutely horrendous here, and the humidity is going to dry that pitch out too eventually.
Tulsa take this quickly. Tavares towards Corti. There's nobody there for Tulsa, and Corti comfortably corrals it. Keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league as Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds. Here's Saldivar sending it forward. Centering pass, Aguilar could shoot it, doesn't. Chance, Saldivar boots it over. And it's out for a goal kick.
More excellent ball movement from the Toros coming forward, and Wharton recognizes Aguilar right at the top of the box, and there, that slight hesitation just over his left shoulder. He had Quintanilla wide open, screaming for the ball. Aldo not very happy that it didn't make its way into his path. You don't want to call it a wasted opportunity because they were still able to get a shot off, but it wasn't on target. And again, Fabian Cerda has done a good job keeping his team in the game tonight.
Here's Gamble. Looking far side. G to Rivas. Looking to get it back to Rivas. Gamble tries one, and it's saved in the end by Corti. Not a bad effort on the volley. And Ontiveros will play it out from the back to Sullivan. Quintanilla tried to dance past 1 and 2. Wins a throw-in for RGV. Correa tries to send the ball far side. Good touch from Kai Green. Being a little indecisive. Back to Todd Wharton. Centering pass, Perea. Aguilar, who's shown some dangerous moves so far, floats it in. Wharton, it was behind him. And it's out for a goal kick.
I like the idea here. It's a great movement coming out of the middle from Todd Wharton. You can see him ask for it too. Aguilar picks his head up and he takes that little touch inside. Unfortunately, the lane is just so difficult to get to as Michael Gamble had shifted his way over. Closing off the angle, unfortunately ends up behind Todd Wharton. But it's good stuff again. You can't stress it enough. All these guys, the union that we've seen defensively is really starting to translate up top. You can see Wharton moving out of that holding midfielder role, getting forward a little bit more. Perea dropping deep. And the interchanging play really has shown some good looks for the Toros this evening.
Perea wins it. Here comes Quintanilla. Good touch, gets by, held back, continues his run. Still Aldo Quintanilla. It's still a chance, and it rolls all the way to Cerda. It's bobbled, and Cerda finally corrals it, and Quintanilla is begging for a foul. Boy, what an individual effort just to get through to the 18-yard box. And Tulsa in the end is able to somehow get out of that. Here's Levin. Sent back to Francisco Ugarte. Played near side. Josh Morton makes some headway. Pass in easily cut out by Sullivan. And Perea, errant pass, picked back up by Levin. Far side. Rivas is there. Shot comes in, and it hits the side netting. Shot came in from Paris G as play is stopped.
And you have to wonder what Elton Garcia, our head referee, was thinking just moments ago. As the ball started to go the other direction, Quintanilla does a good job in transition, picks it up, and just makes the most of his opportunity, uses his speed, gets by Jonathan Levin in the middle, and then right there, Claudio Munoz pulls him off. How he doesn't blow the whistle, how he doesn't show a card, I will never know. Letting play progress is one thing, but when it's done, you gotta blow the whistle. And then Tulsa tries to counter, coming the other direction. And you can see Paris G really the first time, just letting the play develop, has a strike from distance, but it's a good job by Corti. He's definitely got it covered on the near post.
Here's Perea. Saldivar, Quintanilla in behind. Couldn't get there. Back to Matias Saldivar. Kai Green making the run. Green sends it in, and it's out of play. Did it take a deflection, though? Yes, it did. And it's a corner kick for the Toros. Kai Green has had some opportunities to make something happen on that side, as both coaches, including Michael Incia, looking for a breakthrough. But right now, his team has to defend.
See Incia having a few words with assistant coach Lloyd Kinnear here, just trying to figure out where things have gone wrong in the second half so far.
Ball whipped in, almost fell to Cabrera. Instead, Rivas clears. Sullivan, overhead kick. Controlled by Gamble. And booted upfield by Tulsa. Couple of headers, and it goes all the way back to Corti, who corrals it. 12.5 minutes into the second half. RGV seemed to have had a much better part of it, especially going forward.
You can see them finding their way down the path a little bit better, and wanted to see more outside back moving up the pitch from Kai Green and Sheldon Sullivan. Seen more from Kai Green. Sullivan has backed off a little bit, but that's okay. Could be a tactical thing that Jerson Echeverry has talked about, kind of a yin and yang.
Here's Sullivan's cross in. It goes all the way through. Tracked by Vukovic, and it's out for a throw-in.
Almost like giving each guy a little bit of a shift. You don't want to expose yourself too much going forward, because we've seen what Tulsa has been capable of coming out of the back in transition. And they've really shut that down here in the second half. Been really impressed with the composition of the Toros as a whole. That uniformity has really been on display here in the second half.
Here's Wharton. Here's Kai Green on the far side, looking to whip it in. Took a deflection. Perea, though, has it. Wharton looking to distribute. Run made it, chested down. Aguilar thought about it, shields it away, and lost it. Levin trying to clear it, and he draws the foul. And a player stays down for Tulsa. Now there's 2 balls on the field during this stoppage. Been some good chances for both sides. There will be a substitution here as Brandon Cervania will come on, and Jonathan Levin's night is done for Tulsa.
I like this kid that Incian's bringing in, Brandon Cervania. Had a good career at Wake Forest. He was only there for 1 year, but was an all-ACC on the freshman team, and he's done a good job kind of holding down the middle of the park. Jonathan Levin has been the one who really pulled the strings for them defensively in there. Actually out last game, Cervania got the start, but switching roles here, and Michael Incian has definitely lost the battle here in the second half, trying to gain back supremacy to see if they can carry a little bit more offensive momentum going forward. Been a little bit dormant here in the second half.
See that 4-to-1 shots on target in favor of RGVU created the better chances, especially here in the second half. Sullivan heads it away. That one will go out for a throw. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 USL season and bonus content from around the league by subscribing to the league's official YouTube channel at youtube.com/USL. Serta and Tulsa controlling it in their area of the third. Some pressure from Aguilar. Serta able to get away, but it's out of play for a RGV throw. They gotta be fine with that pressure there. Donovan will look to re-trigger. Omar Ontiveros Nice little dink over to Saldivar, who controls for Perea.
Some good shouts from the Stampede getting involved. You can hear them chanting Toros, really trying to urge their team on and move them forward here. Carrying a boatload of possession in the second half, but now it's going to turn into that spot where if Tulsa's going to sit deep, every touch of the ball has got to be purposeful. Doesn't matter if you're going back and forth, left and right. I'm sure Tulsa's going to take that all night long.
Ball ends up going out off of Sullivan. Throw will be taken by Josh Morton. Quintanilla, who has shown some great signs of attacking in this half, has been frustrated a couple of times. That time he thought the ball was out for an RGV throw. It ends up having to be cleared out for a Tulsa throw. Here's Connor Donovan. Morton. Green, not a great touch, but recovers. Here's Saldivar. Green will switch fields. G with the pressure. Forces it out wide to Sullivan. Sullivan, nice cutback. On Taveros, who dealt with the pressure, was a good intervention by him. Ball sent forward. Here comes Quintanilla again. That time he is thrown to the ground. Munoz was all over him. Chance to counter. G's pass is cut out by Ontiveros.
This is good distribution coming out of the back from Omar Ontiveros. He finds Aldo going the other direction and just gets bodied off the ball a little bit here. It's a good look at Claudio Munoz, and you can make your case, I guess, but Toros fans, it's a little bit difficult. Lost possession of the ball. Kind of been pushed off a little bit, so very difficult to force the referee's hand there.
On the turn, Cervania sends it in. Little back heel, and it's dealt with by Wharton, who came back to defend that time. Here comes Pablo Aguilar. Saldivar, lovely. Here comes Wilmer Cabrera on the far side. Cabrera's centering pass, not great. Quintanilla, though, able to come back, backtrack, swings it in, and it's easy for Serta in the end.
This is one of those times where you have to wonder what sort of mental things are at play for Aldo Quintanilla right now. Just a second ago, now you see him, he does it, it's a good first touch here, but the second one, he doesn't need to bring it across his body. He's got Aguilar sitting right at the top of the box. Instead, as he comes inside, Brandon Cervania just tracks him across. That space closes down.
Taveras tried to shoot one, and Kai Green closed the space down.
There's no real reason for him to push into that space. It's open, it's available. One touch, look up, plays it off to Aguilar. He can then compose himself and step onto it and have a crack on net.
Cervania almost gave it away. Chance here for Tulsa. Sent out wide. Paris G. Service into the middle. Knocked up in the air, up for grabs. Ontiveros with the header. Swinging shot is blocked by Perez. Shot is wide in the end, and it's out for a goal kick. That time, Perez got the final shot off. And it looks like another substitution, this time for RGV, as it looks like we will see Bryce Marion come on. Showing you that on the wing, he could be effective as well, and that's the end of the night for Wilmer Cabrera, who really impressed you tonight.
And very impressive by Cabrera. Again, just 17 years of age, so the growth and experience that he's going to continue to gain each and every match is really going to be noticeable over the course of his career, especially this year, the next 2-3, because his development is only going to get better, and the reps that he continues at the professional level is just going to push him higher and higher. Bryce Marion going to give you a little bit different of a look, bigger body, a little bit more developed, 22 years of age, and anyone that's three-time national champion coming out of Stanford has obviously done something right.
Ball sent forward. He's shown signs in recent games how good he can be going forward. Here's Perea. Chance to come forward. Pablo Aguilar. Here's Wharton. Sending it forward. Saldivar looks to run onto it. Serta, though, is able to cover. RGV continue to ask questions in the Tulsa final third. Gerson Echeverry has said in recent weeks how he has loved the build-up play leading into the final third. But it's been what happens when they get into the final third that's left him and his staff perplexed for most of the season. And you've seen it in spurts tonight. Although the same at times could be said for Tulsa. Look to break here. Little run on to Paris G. G swings it in. Open header. It's not a good one, and it's out of play. Just missed it on the connection that time. And Morton tried to chase it out. Perez just couldn't get good contact.
You can see since Brandon Cervania has stepped onto the pitch, he's really helped the flow of this Tulsa team move forward a little bit better. And John Perez just off his mark a little bit. Paris G serving a good ball in. Perez just using the top of his head, unfortunately. Kind of caught in between where he wanted to go there. You're going to go low and use your head. You're going to bring your body and tilt it a little bit, contort and try and get a volley off. But you know, going back a second ago, Sean, you talked about the build-up and getting into the final third. And there's a real good school of thought that I've heard before, and it was actually from former World Cup thought processes on going forward. And we'll kind of skip the tactical part of it, but the gist of it was, is he said,
Few of the taller defenders come forward for RGV, trying to get ahead on this. Saldivar thought about taking it quickly. Ball swung in, header down. That was off of Ontiveros, who came in. Tavares got a piece. Paris G's trying to clear. High boot from Morton, regained by RGV. Here's Aguilar. Kai Green. This ball is sent in, headed away. Wharton has two men on him. Sullivan gets it to Aguilar. Here's the first real touch from Marion. He tried a shot, took a couple of deflections, but it runs all the way back, and Perea is able to reset. Here's Saldivar. Saldivar with his left foot, into the box it goes. Chested down and cleared by Morton. G and Sullivan get tangled. G tries to slip through, and he got a little bit of a late touch. And it'll be a free kick for Tulsa coming down on the 70th minute. Another substitution, and this one is for Tulsa. That'll be the end of the night for Eti Tavares. And coming on now is going to be Jesus Ferreira.
We've seen the display of youth on the side of the field for the Toros. And Wilmer Cabrera, we just talked about him and the career that he's got in front of him. But Ferreira, another one, 17 years of age, and he's actually an FC Dallas product. They signed him as a homegrown earlier in 2016, but only one appearance for the first team. So they loaned him over to Tulsa to get him some more reps and continue his experience. Had a few call-ups to the U17s, but unfortunately hadn't made his way onto the pitch. But he is a dynamic player going forward. Super fun to watch.
Bit of a like for like as far as the pace. Ball sent forward. Perea cuts it out for RGV. Green stumbled, gets it forward, looking for Saldivar. Not a great touch by Cervania, and a chance for RGV to come forward with it. Aldo Quintanilla tried to cross it in. Morton easily able to clear it, but Quintanilla runs back onto it. Here's a chance. Ball looking in for Bryce Marion, and it will trickle out for a throw-in for the Roughnecks. Gamble cleared it away, comes back. Here's Paris G. On the turn, Perez couldn't get there. Donovan clears it all the way back to Serta. Far side, couple of Tulsa players decide who will take it forward. Here it comes for the Roughnecks. Couple players to aim at, but Kai Green heads it away. Falls here to Wharton. Aldo Quintanilla. And that pass is cut out. But it'll be a throw-in for RGV a little bit further up the field for the Toros. For a team that has struggled to score goals this season, they have completely dominated the second half as far as where the ball has been on the pitch.
Just moments ago, watching them move all over, very composed over the top of it, have no problem taking their time, being a little bit more patient.
This falls to Quintanilla. Great little back heel through, but it's cleared out at the last second. Another piece of creative ingenuity from Aldo Quintanilla, but a last second intervention delays the chance. Aguilar, lovely little footwork there. Juggles it, gets it back on a nice little tip pass from Quintanilla. The cross comes in, it took a deflection. And it's one back. Ferreira missed it. Wharton lets fly, and it's out for a goal kick. As we get another nice look here at a nice move by Quintanilla.
I like the thought process. Unfortunately, it just comes a little bit off. You see the spin brings it back inside and allows the center backs of Tulsa to step up. Josh Morton sliding over there, and you saw Aguilar, the overlapping run. It's a great look from RGV, but again, execution just not there in its full effect, unfortunately. But look, there's plenty of time, 17 minutes left. We talked about the possession just moments ago, carrying the ball for 53 seconds. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. But again, doesn't mean anything if it doesn't end up in the back of the net.
Quintanilla, who's really come to life over these last 5 to 10 minutes. Tried to find Saldivar. Aguilar. Once again, Toros look to threaten coming forward. Perea and Wharton went down and didn't like the challenge. And a yellow card has been issued to Ferreira. As maybe the heat and frustration starting to boil over here between a few of the players. Ferreira, excuse me, was booked for this challenge on Wharton, who was looking to send it forward.
You see Wharton just gets caught a little bit ball watching, and it is a nasty challenge on Todd Wharton. He's not happy, and Ferreira right away comes right over the top, steps on him. And it's a good job by our referee to step in and get a hold of the situation, want to control. Emotion starting to flare a little bit as this game comes to its conclusion, but the issue's still in doubt as both coaches trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. You can see him playing a little game of chess, moving the pawns around to try and push something and gain 3 points.
Pablo Aguilar will make way for number 11, Jesus Enriquez. Aguilar certainly strong going forward, not able to finish. Jesus Enriquez does have a goal this season for Rio Grande Valley, and will certainly look to cause havoc in the final third over the last 15 minutes or so.
I was actually on the call for that game when he scored, and it was amazing. Great ball from the right side of the pitch, comes back left and took one little touch inside and was able to beat Kyle Rainish, goalkeeper from Fresno, on the far post. Just a nice curler, super pretty.
This one is one back. Bryce Marion, centering pass. Here he comes! He breaks through! Right on cue! Jesus Enriquez gives RGV the lead at long last. His second of the year within seconds of coming on, and the Toros celebrate. Look what it means to them.
Just as he gets the pleasure and praise from us on previous efforts, you can see him. It's good ball movement by the Toros, and Marion just slowly right across the penalty mark. Enriquez delays his run. Josh Morton, the outside back from Tulsa, struggling to maintain with the fresh legs of the substitute. And you said it, the emotional energy, the impact, the excitement, all of it on full display as the RGV Toros are finally able to find a lead in a game where they have struggled to 328 minutes, no more.
And the man who gave him a hug, Gerson Echeverry, not showing it yet. Still plenty of time left in this game, but he has got to feel a huge sigh of relief. His team has finally broken through, and they've broken the deadlock. Jesus Enriquez was on the field for a nanosecond and comes in and gives RGV the lead. Now Tulsa have to turn it on a little bit. They've kind of been out of it as far as going forward these last few minutes. But as we've talked about and as we've seen earlier in the game, still plenty of talent going forward to maybe get one back here.
And now if you're the home squad, how do you respond? I know you're the one that scored the goal.
Paris G, he's in, he scores! Goodness gracious, in the blink of an eye, Paris G equalizes for Tulsa. They say you're most vulnerable after you've scored a goal. And Tulsa with a huge response. Paris G's third of the season. It's 1-1 in a flash.
Was just going to say, how are the Toros going to respond? Because even though they've scored, we've seen them in the past, and they give up the lead coming down the stretch. Unfortunately, the next 5 minutes, that is the most important spot. Every coach will tell you, everybody's riding a high, and the other team is looking to come back. The Tulsa Roughnecks take full advantage of the opportunity. They exploit the space on the left back position. Sullivan just getting caught out a little bit. G gets in behind and just picks out that far post, and nothing Nico Corti could do.
You nailed it, Devin. How would RGV respond? And Paris G took it into his own feet, you could say. Here's a chance, though, swung in looking for Quintanilla. That was Saldivar who brought it in. So a goal apiece in a matter of moments for either side. Jesus Enriquez finally broke RGV's scoring drought. That was the first goal that RGV had scored since June 16th. But Tulsa responds in the blink of an eye with Paris G's third of the season. And it's 1-1 in a flash. But here's a chance coming forward. Leaves it off. Enriquez again gets around. And it's offside. It didn't go in anyway. But Jesus Enriquez was in an offside position before that play was finished.
And he knew it. He actually held his run pretty well, but unfortunately, there was one extra touch in here he couldn't do anything about. And Enriquez just pointing to the boys in the middle, saying, pick up the pace a little bit, bring it around the edge. He was available, put himself in a good spot. But this is pretty stereotypical of what you see from a squad who's gone through such a long drought. Unfortunately, there's no sight in relief, and you can see hesitates just a little bit. He plays that ball sooner. Enriquez is in.
Foul on the near side. Enriquez draws it for RGV. Wharton took it immediately, hit it right into Gamble. And I believe the referee will say that because he was so close to Wharton, he didn't give him the 10 yards, and Wharton said, if you're not going to give me the 10 yards, here, take the ball. And he's able to retake the kick because of that.
That's smart by the captain. He's card hunting a little bit, looking for a little love from the referee, but can't blame him in that situation.
11 minutes to go. Boy, Devin, we thought at some point, was there a goal that was going to come? We got two in the span of a couple of minutes, and now we're still looking to see who can win this one as Bryce Marion tries to send the Toros forward. Here's Saldivar. Cutting it back. Quintanilla is there, and now he has it. Wharton got to it. Here's the goal scorer, Enriquez. Weaving his way in with the left foot. The cross is blocked and cleared high in the air by Morton. Cushioned header on the near side. Gets it back to Jesus Enriquez. Ball comes in, headed away. Enriquez here in this corner will let it go out. It's a corner kick for RGV, coming down on 10 minutes remaining in a 1-1 game. Saldivar will take it.
The Toros got to recognize right now. You can see Enriquez really oozing with confidence. Going to continue to feed him that ball. He likes it in space. He likes it one-on-one.
Ball swung in. Easily headed away by Morton. Sheldon Sullivan now battling for it, trying to keep it with RGV, and he does just that. Ontiveros now. Ball onto the near side, looking for the man with the fresh legs. Instead, it was to Saldivar, and it's out of play for a goal kick. '81st minute. Sean St. Jacques, Devin Kerr with you. RGV and Tulsa were scoreless until the 75th minute, when Jesus Enriquez, who had literally just come into the game as a sub, broke through for RGV, but Paris G was able to respond for Tulsa. What are you looking forward for, Devin, these last 9 minutes to see if somebody can break through here and get those crucial 3 points?
You want RGV to continue this emotional kind of energy override you've seen. But again, push it in a positive direction. Don't let it overtake you defensively. They've been so structured all season long, and you saw that mental lapse for just about a minute or two, and we talked about that. We said, listen, they've put together some solid performances, not really coming to fruition in a full 90 minutes. That's been the case so far this evening. Controlled much of the match, got their goal, and they fell behind a little bit. Let Tulsa back into this match. Now it's your turn. Take the reins. Go get another one.
Wharton got the challenge. Saldivar fires, and it's over the net and out for a goal kick. He's shown that he is not afraid to fire from distance. But it allows Tulsa to send everybody forward here. 8 minutes in stoppage time remaining. Ball was headed out. Looked like Sullivan got the final touch. Throw in for Morton. And the pressure from Enriquez forces it back to Serta. Not a great touch by Sullivan. Advantage is played though. Paris G is in here. The goal scorer for Tulsa. Looking across the face of goal. Nobody there, nobody touched it. And it's out for a throw-in on the far side. Maybe Corti, the goalkeeper, got a bit of a touch on that. Nobody made the run here at the far post for Paris G's delivery.
Now Paris does his job and just gets to the end line, plays one across. He's looking for a runner, but Gamble and Perez, no one really on the end of that at all whatsoever. For some reason, still waiting to get word from our referee, but Sullivan's been put into the book. Something, a little bit of an extracurricular activity the referee didn't like.
Second player to be booked, one for either side. Jesus Ferreira was booked earlier for Tulsa. Chance here for the Roughnecks. Paris G. This could open up here. Into the box it goes. Late challenge from Bryce Marion. Offside is the call on the near side as Perez went down in the box. They were able to find him, but he was in an offside position, and that gives RGV a chance to regroup. Sporadic chances in the first half for both teams. Second half, certainly for the first half an hour, was dominated by RGV. Then they broke through. And then Tulsa took advantage of a lapse on the defensive end to equalize. Can RGV turn it back up here? Saldivar. Bryce Marion. Lets it run. Perea to Saldivar. Now it's with Kai Green. Marion, the substitute. They retreat to Connor Donovan. Ontiveros. Omar Ontiveros, his pass is picked off. Paris G looks forward, and his pass is picked off. Here is the goal scorer for RGV, Enriquez. His ball was looking for Aldo Quintanilla, and it's cleared out by Tulsa. Sheldon Sullivan flew in trying to win the challenge, and he wins the free kick. And then there's a little bit of extracurriculars away from the ball, and another booking is going to be issued here. Ontiveros went down. Perez clipped him after the play was over, and he's into the book.
Perez just pushing forward a little bit. You can see it's a good step by Sullivan first off. Perez comes in from behind, and then right afterwards, as Ontiveros steps up, tries to grab the ball, Perez understands they're gonna go in transition in the other direction quite rapidly. He just steps on the end toe of his boot. Omar Ontiveros is an interesting one. He actually came in last year from an open tryout and then has dealt with some injuries, but much healthier this year, much more prevalent in the starting 11. It's good to see him back.
Switching fields that time to Kai Green was Ontiveros. Here's Bryce Marion on the turn. He goes down, free kick. 4 minutes in stoppage time remaining. This could be a good spot for Matias Saldivar to issue in his service. And before he does that, there will be a substitution for RGV. And it's Jorginho James who will come on. That's the end of the night for Nicholas Pereira. James also has a goal this season for RGV, and he is a substitute. I said that last time when Enriquez scored for RGV.
New good luck charm, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
There you go.
Saldivar will try to whip it in. Chance headed down, out of the box. One back by Enriquez. Enriquez whips it in. Far post, Kai Green can't get to it. And it's out for a goal kick for Tulsa. Three minutes to go. Here's the opener. What a pass. Substitute to substitute for Enriquez's goal. That made it 1-0 in the 75th minute, and then in the blink of an eye, what a move by G. He got it back and he equalized.
And 2 goals in the span of 2 minutes, and unfortunately RGV had to wait 328 minutes to finally get one.
Here they come again. Cross is deflected and out for a corner. Saldivar put the pressure on, and now he will take the corner kick for RGV. It will be interesting to see, although there's still 2 minutes before the stoppage time, how much added time will be on at the end of the 90. Saldivar swings it in. The header is just wide. Looked like Ontiveros got ahead to it, but it's just to the left of the net. And out for a Tulsa goal kick. Certainly, since the Tulsa goal, RGV have been the aggressor again. And at this point, a goal might be stealing 2 points. Although, as we saw earlier, don't count your chickens. Gamble surging forward for Tulsa. Nice little leave-off pass. Lovely. Here's Rivas. And it's cleared out. Connor Donovan with the intervention. Corner kick for Tulsa. Haven't called Joaquin Rivas' name too much in the second half, but he's going to take this corner kick on the far side in the final minute.
Been much quieter, and it's been a good job by RGV recognizing the threat that he started to come into play a little bit. But look, just a few minutes left. Got the goal, came back. Don't give up another one.
In it goes. The header is up in the air from Perez, and it's going to be a hold on Perez, it looks like, and it's out of play, but it'll be a free kick for RGV. 30 seconds left of the 90 before the stoppage time. Michael Incian, the head coach for Tulsa. A win and a draw. This is his 3rd game in charge of the Roughnecks. Ball headed back. Wharton and Morton were in there. Sullivan back to Ontiveros. Ontiveros controls. We've reached the 90 minutes. 2 added minutes here. Will we see a winning goal? Here's Gamble, sending it forward. That's a lovely ball in. It's in. Ferreira with a chance. He gets around, and it's cleared off the line by Kai Green. It goes out of play. It looked like it took a deflection, and on top of that, I believe it's an RGV throw.
How about this?
What a last-second intervention.
Ferreira gets in behind, and you said it best. Look at as it makes its way through. He's in one-on-one, uses his body right, gets a good touch, and right here, gets around Nico Corti. Donovan actually gets a touch on it, and that's going to hit the post, possibly find the back of the net. Johnny on the spot, Kai Green able to save it.
Still a chance for Tulsa. Here they come again. Here's the chance. Perez, he goes down. Sullivan got in there. Both players are down. Stoppage of play. We've played 1 minute of the stoppage time. This might add on to it. Here's the chance again.
That is a nasty challenge right there. right at the top of the box. And ooh, Sullivan throwing his weight around. Got to be careful, playing on a yellow card. I know there's only a few moments left, but he's lucky referee doesn't blow the whistle in that situation.
We'll see if this adds anything to the minimum of 2 added minutes. Nico Corti pressured here by Ferreira. Boots it deep upfield. It goes almost touchdown by Quintanilla. And it's a foul going the other way for Tulsa. Ten seconds left of the 2 added minutes. We will see if Elton Garcia, the referee, will add a little bit more after that quick stoppage on the collision between Sullivan and Perez. This is sent forward. Headed out by Sullivan. Maybe one last chance for Tulsa. They're going to have to be quick. Gamble. Flicked in to the box. Knocked out by Wharton, but not as far as Paris G. Swings it in. Far post. Headed away. Vukovic. His cross is deflected out for a throw-in, and that will end proceedings here at HEB Park. 1-1 the final, a point each as the coaches come forward to congratulate each other really on a hard-fought game from both teams, but in the end, it's yet another draw for each of these two sides. Jesus Enriquez with the opener. That man, Paris G, saves a point for Tulsa. It happened in the blink of an eye between those 2 goals, and it finishes 1-1.
And if you're RGV, you got to be happy that, number one, you didn't give up home field advantage. You're able to get another point, and that's great. You got the first goal after 328 minutes, and the way that we got there, it was an interesting start for the home squad. They carried much of the momentum for the beginning of this match, and to be fair, at the start of the second, for most of the second, but unfortunately just let Tulsa hang around a little bit. Few chances in the first. Aguilar had quite a few. This one, Serta, 2 saves in the span of about 20 seconds. And then we saw the outside backs from RGV starting to get involved a little bit more. Zaldivar came into play. This chance from Quintanilla, trying to go far post. Another good save from Serta.
Certainly chances for both sides in the first half. Vukovic there with a free kick. Left Nico Corti thinking about it a little bit. Aldo Quintanilla really sparked on. Also, Pablo Aguilar had a couple of chances as well. And on the other end, Tulsa also threatening in the first half. That was a great chance from Perez that ended up going wide. Here was the goal.
This is a good run from Bryce Marion, the substitute. Comes on, just uses his speed, uses his athleticism. Does a good job getting in that one-on-one battle. Finds Enriquez on the far post. And that's solid. Goes and says, thank you very much to the supporters, but unfortunately, RGV just checked out for a few minutes. Tulsa recognized it. Paris G, silent in the first half, was an assassin in the second. He made Tulsa play. Good ball across, finds the far post, and 2 goals in the span of 2 minutes. RGV have to feel snake-bitten.
Certainly after a nip and tuck first half, it was the 75th minute, and then the minute after that where the game burst into life. RGV, big lead on shots and also 6-2 shots on target, but a goal each and a point each in the end for these two teams, both that really could have used a win, but the way it played out, I think they'd both be all right with a point at the end of this one.
It's fair, yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look at what was the opportunities going forward, solid display of goalkeeping on both sides of the ball. You have to be frustrated with the back lines and the letdown in transition, but at the same point in time, you didn't lose points, so that's a good thing. And, you know, for Tulsa, give credit to Michael Encian. He's definitely stepped into that head coaching role after the departure of David Vaudreuil. 3 games, 2 wins and a tie. Not too bad. Jerson Echeverry is back to work.
So it finishes 1-1 here. So we took a look at the final stats. Fireworks here at HEB Park. There was certainly fireworks late on in this one. As you see, the next game for RGV. Next Saturday, Las Vegas comes to town. That should be a fun one between the Toros and the Lights. Toros, of course, looking for that elusive second win of the season, as Vegas will look to come in and try to deal with the great defensive play of the Toros as well. This was a fun one for all of us here. I'm Sean St. Jacques. 1-1 the final here at HEB Park.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.